with a slightly croaky Jake Sanson doing comms, sponsored by Strepsils, I think, this weekend.
The Ohvale 110s will give us plenty of excitement here at Teesside. Caden Herring, Leon Simpson and JJ Magister filling the front row of the starting grid. Cody Brennan, Sam Whitaker and Ella Mosgrove are next up on the second row to round out the top six. On the third row of the grid, we've got Dylan Cook, Will Dickinson and Seth Hayward, who seems to be having some transponder issues. Then Cian Daly, Carter Spinks and CJ Maguire to round out the top 12. We'll have Rex Armand 13th on the grid from Matthew Jennings and Dan Tanton. And then Jasper O'Neill-White, Thomas Med and Oscar McAllister. The final two men on the grid will be Austin Dilks and Thomas Johnson, who has elected not to take the start of this race. Clearly some kind of difficulty with the bike. So it'll be an interesting run for the remaining 19 riders in the field. We'll definitely get plenty of great action as the green flag is at the back of the field, and now we're off and under starters' orders and the racers charge towards Paddock Bend. And it's going to be a great start in the Ohvale 110 class. The riders between the age of 8 and 12. And we're going to see some exciting stuff between them. Leon Simpson has got the better start to move his way further forward ahead of Caden Herring. So Caden Herring has actually made a terrible launch down to 4th position by the look of it, because that's Cody Brennan, who's now all over the back of JJ Magister. Dylan Cook has made a relatively good start as well as they go along the reverse corkscrew. Is that Dylan Cook in 4th position? No, it's not. He's in 5th position behind Caden Herring as Sam Whitaker is trying to get his move there on the hard-charging Will Dickinson. And up over the Wigglies. Oh, that's brave from Cody Brennan, who tried to dive straight through as Dylan Cook goes round the outside to get the move there on a very sluggish start for Caden Herring. So Dylan Cook now finds himself in 4th position. Caden Herring trying to get the run and is actually struggling not to lose 5th position at this point. So not an easy start then for the pole sitter Caden Herring, who in qualifying managed to get a 1:19.33, but he's just not got the pace at the moment. There's a good battle going for 6th position as that's Whitaker getting through on the inside to move up a position. So Sam Whitaker up into 6th position then. Good start for him as he now finds himself in front of Will Dickinson. Then we've got Cian Daly, Matthew Jennings and the rest of the field in tow. Trying to see where Seth Hayward puts himself. Well, he's in 10th place now in front of Carter Spinks and Thomas Med. So down towards the long rotating rib bend. It changes in elevation as you come off that turn. It's not a particularly difficult corner in terms of radius, but the elevation change really does sort out the tough riders from the rookies, as Bob Pope Straight is where the leader is already building a lead. That's over 2 seconds over JJ Magister, with Cody Brennan there in 3rd position, trying to go right around the outside. Oh, beautiful. Up towards the Wiggles, and it's Cody Brennan through on JJ Magister for 2nd position. So they work their way further forward, up through hairpin 1 and hairpin 2. Cody Brennan exactly where he wants to be. He's now got clear track in front of him to go after Leon Simpson, but Simpson's just building that gap, and it's getting bigger and bigger all the time. So absolutely perfect in terms of where he wants to be. But this is becoming a very tricky race for the men trying to close up on our race leader. It's going to go through hairpin 3 into hairpin 4 now to finish off the run at the dog leg. There's a good little battle for 2nd place though. JJ Magister hasn't quite given up yet on his rights to 2nd place versus Cody Brennan. We've still got Dylan Cook in front of Caden Herring for the time being. 6th place for Whitaker, then Dickinson, Daly, Hayward, and then it is Matthew Jennings. So it's the Morningside man versus the Northamptonshire lad, Brennan versus Manchester, and Caden Herring trying to get on terms with Dylan Cook, the 4th position man, number 13 from Cheltenham. They go up the reverse corkscrew, named of course in deference to the Laguna Seca circuit in Monterey, California, although it is the corkscrew in reverse. Down the Bob Pope Straight, named after the man behind Teesside Autodrome, of course. So it's going to be an interesting challenge there, as we saw Seth Hayward trying to put the challenge on Cian Daly just on the outskirts of the top 10. Out through hairpin 1 and up to hairpin 2. Caden Herring still looking for this opportunity to get past Dylan Cook, but Cook is riding beautifully at the moment, not really going to make any easy mistakes by the look of things, just keeping it nicely in his stride. Down the back straight we've got Whitaker, and that looks like Seth Hayward trying to put the pressure on now. 2 riders in this race with a number 15, which definitely doesn't confuse things at all. Seth Hayward certainly putting the pressure on. tries to get the run on the inside line. But he's made steady progress in this race, as Seth Hayward. Good to see. He was in the top 5, of course, last time out at Rowra, but he hasn't found it quite so easy this time as he works his way further forward. Seth Hayward trying to get past Cian Daly then for 8th position. Spinks has made a good run. He's up to 10th position now, making some steady progress himself. Then 11th place is Jennings in front of the very talented Ella Mosgrove, who has not had the best of starts to her race, was definitely quick in qualifying, managed to put her bike in 6th on the starting grid, but in race trim has not been able to keep that pace, as now we've got Dylan Cook really being hustled by Caden Herring and Sam Whittaker, who wants to get the move on the inside line himself, through to the Wigglies one more time. And still a very intense battle is brewing here. Hairpin 1, up towards hairpin 2, and Caden Herring still working very hard here to try and put the measure of the man in front of him. But Dylan Cook has been very smooth out of the blocks in this race. No major concerns or catastrophes to report at this point. So still, the competitors put in a good show. There is Seth Hayward trying to make progress again on Cian Daly. The problem is, even though he ran in the top 5 at Rowra, this is a tricky circuit to overtake on. Look, he's trying to set up the move, and even with a mistake from Cian Daly, he just doesn't have the timing on the throttle application through hairpin 4 to make the overtake. It's not so easy to get the overtakes done here. So the battle for second continues, as still we have Cody Brennan. JJ Manchester has lost a bit of ground though, because Dylan Cook has been able to drop JJ Manchester. So too, by the way, has Caden Herring. So Manchester is slowly losing time. I don't know whether it's the bike or whether it's the tyres or whether it's just his confidence, but he's currently running in the 122s compared to everybody else around him on a 119 and a 120. So I think Manchester may have made a mistake somewhere, because it's certainly put Brennan up to second permanently now, with Cook and Herring battling away for 3rd and 4th. If we look in the background, we can see Whittaker has got ahead of JJ Manchester now as well. So all sorts of problems for JJ Manchester, but Caden Herring is on the warpath to try and get ahead of Dylan Cook. Cook's approaching the South Bank, a man who knows that he's under threat from Herring, protecting the inside line. So Herring has to go the long way round up to hairpin 3 and then up to hairpin 4. Is there going to be a chance again here for Caden Herring to get through into the position? It looks like Dylan Cook is making sure there's no room at the end whatsoever. He doesn't want to give away an easy overtake today. Into the last lap we go. And Leon Simpson's lead is over 11 seconds now over Cody Brennan. He's not losing the lead, but crucially, is Dylan Cook going to lose 3rd position to Caden Herring? Herring is really putting the pressure on him, but into Rib Bend, and Dylan Cook puts his bike in exactly the right place. All he's got to do is keep Caden Herring relatively off his guard, and through the reverse corkscrew, he positions the bike exactly where he should go. So as they go onto the Pope straight once again, I don't think Caden Herring's going to have time. He may get opportunity, but only if there's a mistake from Dylan Cook. There's Sam Whittaker running in P5 as JJ Manchester continues run. Look at the comeback from Ella Mosgrove. She's having a terrific ride on the last lap, and she really seems to have found her feet once more to really work things further forward. So this is great from Ella Mosgrove. She was there behind Will Dickinson. But here comes Leon Simpson. Dominant race, checkered flag as he goes past the pits. Excellently done from Leon Simpson, and the race is his. Absolute cruise to victory in the end. Brennan will be B2, just in front of Dylan Cook, who worked very hard indeed there to keep Caden Herring at bay. Sam Whittaker is going to come forward, but that's the move from the inside from Carter Speaks on the last lap on Seth Hayward. Can't find the way on the inside line. He even puts his hand up, as there is Caden Herring at the back of the trio. Brennan, Cook and Herring. Sam Whittaker will be P5. That's Ella Mosgrove. She worked her way forward into 6th position on the last lap ahead of Dickinson and Manchester, and the top 10 is going to be rounded out by Cian Daly and Seth Hayward.
Well, 2 classes on track at the same time. The Ohvale 110 Cup class result looks like this, with Simpson, Brennan and Herring taking the top 3. For some reason, Seth Hayward does not appear in the results of either class. Mini GP 110, the result looks like this, with Dylan Cook taking the win.